What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 39 of Damn That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy Salinas, joined by, as always, my brother Junior Salinas. We do got a fun episode going on for you. This is our 4th of July special. I guess you could say it's after 4th of July. We'll also call it 4th of July special. But without further ado, let's get this party started.
Hey, it's Junior here. We had a good episode last week talking just kind of talking stuff. We had our around the pig question stuff. We'll get to all that today as we head up to it. We are trying some new things, so bear with us here a little bit today. But let's get to right into it. First, thank you to our sponsors. One of them is Prairie Fresh Barbecue. One is Mad Cow Cutlery. One is I never can remember them all.
39 episodes in, and still can't remember.
Barely remember your name.
No, shout out to our sponsors, Holy Smoke Spice Companies, Brothers Keepers Barbecue, of course, Mad Cow Cutlery, Prairie Fresh, and of course, Meat Hugger. So shout out to all of them. And then, of course, our small business shout outs of the week. My small business shout out is going to be someone I've been following on TikTok. He's been putting out some good videos. He's got some great products. It's 1042 Barbecue. If you have not followed him on TikTok, be sure to check him out. It's 1042. That's 1042 BBQ. He's got some rubs on Amazon that you can buy, so be sure to check him out on Amazon. Give him a try. But that is my small business shout out of the week. You got a small business shout out?
I do. I ask that you bear with me here 1 second here as we get to it. Here as I bring up his stuff. I used to work with him. His name is Marvin Blue. He is with Marvin Blue Photography and Film. He's just doing great things when it comes to photography and film. A lot of his weddings that he does. Some of them have been featured in the last one was featured in Shutter magazine. He's been in, you name the magazine, he's been in it. Just takes beautiful photos. So if you want to take that photo, that everlasting picture on your wedding day, he's been doing other kind of photo shoots and stuff. Him and his crew can do it. Definitely hit him up. It's Marvin Blue Photography and Film.com. Or you can hit him up at marvinbluephotography.com, the email, or of course the Facebook, Instagram, all those social media. Let him know that Junior from Big Salinas Barbecue sent you, and he's going to give you that VIP, that special treatment. Like I said, you cannot miss up on any of these stuff. He's going to take that photograph that's going to last a lifetime, because that's what you want when you look at it later. You want it to last. You want to know that you got what you paid for sure. So that's my small business shout out. Hit him up, Marvin Blue Photography and Film. Now let's get into it. What you got going on?
Crickets. There's not much going on. I mean, we just come off. Y'all were on vacation. We did have an event that we had to cater for 100 people for a business. So there was a grand opening here in DFW. It's called Shint Power Supply. Yes, I know that does sound like I sound, like I said, the poo-poo word, but CHINT Power. They did open up their shop here in Richardson, so they had a grand opening. A lot of people from California. Someone came down from Arkansas. They had a DJ there. They had some alcohol there. So it was a great time. Everyone enjoyed the barbecue. Brisket, reviews, sausage, mac and cheese, potato salad, beans. So it was very, very good turnout. Everyone enjoyed it. It's always nice when you can cook, barbecue, see the faces on everybody's that's enjoying it, and have some memories with your family members. But yeah, that's what I was up to this past week or so. Then, of course, we had 4th of July this past week. So we did have a little cookout at the house. Cooked up some corn on the cob, pork chops, steaks, hot dogs, hot links, slab of ribs. We had some brisket. We threw it down. But that's what I was up to. What were you up to this past week or so?
Vacation. We hit Little Rock up last Friday. Went to visit the Holberts, the people that Josh Holbert, Pastor Josh Holbert, that did our wedding. He's with Grace Church, soon to be Grace United, up there in Little Rock. So go check that out as well. Hit that up for the weekend, and then on Sunday drove up to Eureka Springs where we spent time with her family. All in all, good fun. Got to hang out with some Aggie fans, so to speak. So it was interesting when football would get brought up, but all in all, it was okay. Experience just a lot. Beautiful scenery up in the hills. I won't even call them mountains. The hills. So all these roads, not one real turn, not one real speed limit sign, I should say. It was all basically take it at your own risk because it was turns, drops, raises. Watch out for the motorcycles that were up there. So all in all, good thing. Got to see some caves up there. Got to go on a pontoon boat. Got to drive that. So that was pretty fun. Maybe, and then of course just seeing Eden things is always an experience and always fun. So all in all, not too bad. Didn't had an experience with some jalapeno poppers. And this is my advice to you. When you cook them one way, note the change in the way you cook. Very good. They came out okay. If they stuck together, they cooked them out of the air fryer, so there was no need to flip them like you would flip them in your grill. You would kind of turn it here and there to kind of cook both sides of the bacon if you didn't close it. So when we went to flip it, they didn't have the toothpick, so it would kind of come apart. But all in all, I think that was just a learning experience, and you have to realize, hey, you're cooking it a different way. There was some grilling going on. You can't beat some meat from La Michoacana, so it is what it is there. So overall, not too shabby. Ready to get back to it. What you got cooking on the grill this coming up weekend? You cooking anything?
Not cooking anything as of yet. Stuff can change, but nothing has popped up yet.
Nothing has popped up yet. That's true. That's good. I think I might do some ribs this weekend, so you might have to roll by. Chelsea wants her, her Dr. Pepper ribs. I might try my shot at them, see how those come out. Might marinate them overnight or something like that. But hopefully, we'll see. Hopefully everybody had a safe 4th of July. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got burnt or anything like that as we continue to look at videos and stuff from that. And you see a lot of people, some people did get hurt. Hopefully no one we know did. So we'll go from there. But so you're not cooking anything yet? No brisket or nothing, huh?
Nothing that I know of. At least not for no customers. No orders have come in. That regard yet.
Well, there's still time to order, get those orders in. It is the summer. Guess what? If you don't want to cook because it's too hot, let Randy do the cooking for you. He'll go out there. He'll gladly get out there and have it for you bright and early in the morning, cooking all night and stuff like that. So as we get into it, now you mentioned you cooked those briskets and you cooked the Texas Twinkies on it. Tell the people what exactly consists of a Texas
Twinkie. It's just really jalapenos that are hollowed out. You can leave the stuff inside if you want them hotter. But it's just cream cheese, whatever kind of cheese that you want added into it, and then brisket is what I consider a Texas Twinkie. If you want to use pork, chicken, chorizo, whatever meat that you want in there, you can put that in there. But you just kind of put it all together, stuff it, wrap it in bacon, throw it on the smoker. So you get the bacon cooked that you want. Put some barbecue sauce on it. Don't put barbecue sauce on it, and you just enjoy it. Definitely, it's very very good. Um, I do season ours with holy garlic on the inside, and then hit it with some pork rub on the outside. They did come out very very good. You can check out the photos on Instagram and Facebook. Certainly, if you do want some Texas Twinkies, just let us know if you're in the DFW area.
For sure, or anything. Like I said, we can't cook it all. There may be something, like I said, you don't want to cook, you want to have some grilled food, but you don't necessarily want to get out there in this ungodly weather, in this heat of a weather. I will say this: woke up the other day. It was about 93 degrees when we woke up. When I was on vacation, I woke up. It was 80 degrees outside looking at the mountains, the hills. Sorry, lived in Texas so long that any kind of hill like that looks like a mountain. But um, it was just beautiful to kind of get away like that, get some air. So, like I said, but again, you don't want to cook because it's hot. I don't blame you one bit. Let us do the cooking for you, and we will get it, and we'll even drop it off and deliver if you are a local. If not, if you're further off, we can definitely meet like halfway or something like that. So if there's a will, there's a way, and we will definitely find out. So, how when you do your steak, you're cooking a steak. Do you cook it more than like a grill, or do you smoke it a little bit, or what do you do?
I mean, it depends on what you're really kind of cooking on. Um, if I'm cooking on, if I want something really kind of hot and fast, I'll probably just kind of right over the coals, get a nice good sear on them. Um, my preference is kind of doing like a reverse sear. We're going to smoke it or, indirect heat, like if you want to use your Weber to get it up, to about 120 and then get it right over the coals for about a minute or two on each side, just to get a nice good sear on them and then, let it rest and enjoy it. You can't go wrong either way if you want to go just straight grill, grill marks first, over the coals and then move it over. Or if you just want to cook real hot, you know, right on the coals the whole time, you can do that as well. Steak's gonna come up, very, very good as long as you cook it with some kind of tenderness in it. So definitely don't cook in a well done, medium rare. Medium is what I would suggest. If you want to go a little bit past medium, you can. Um, but you do lose some of the juices once you go past medium.
Absolutely. We did some steaks last night. We kind of had a delayed anniversary dinner, so to speak. Um, and we did some steaks, and I smoked them kind of a little bit. They didn't have too much of a flavor to it. Threw a little pecan on that little Weber kettle, just one chip, give it a little smoke
Mm-hmm.
taste. Like I said, not a lot. And then I did the reverse sear, threw them on there, got them up real good. Chelsea's was a little bit more. Mine was perfect. It was medium rare to a T, perfect. Hers was a little bit more. It wasn't quite medium, but was a little bit more than rare. So uh, it was just kind of a little bit more than medium rare, but not all the way quite to medium. So she was happy with it. Eden was happy with it. I was just curious on that. Now, when you're letting them sit, how long do you let your steaks sit, and where and how do you to keep them warm? Obviously,
If you got foil, wrap it in foil and just leave it out for 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. If you want to throw it in the oven, you can throw it in the oven. You just want Mainly, you just want the juices to kind of evenly distribute back through the meat. Um, we've eaten it, cutting into it right away on the grill because people in our family are very, very hungry. When they're ready to eat, they're ready to eat. You got to cut it right then and
We ain't
there.
got time to wait. We got time to wait on you with this stuff.
Preferably, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes wait if you can. Um, just so that way the juices can distribute, and then you can get that good, delicious bite all the way through.
Absolutely. And that's just it. And again, just the disclosure, I've seen it, been watching some podcasts, some cooks and stuff as we try to line up some guests here to get us back on that track. If you would like to join us, talk barbecue, definitely hit us up and let us know from there. But as we say it again, this is just our thoughts and our methods. We're not calling it, if you do it a different way, let us know how you do it. We'll give it a shot. And because there's no wrong or right way, I think, to do brisket, to do any kind of grilling. The more you know, the better you're going to be. If your family eats it, that's all that matters. To us, this is just our opinions and our opinions alone on this. So just to let you know on that. That way we're not getting in trouble. People think we're telling them the wrong way to do it. This is just our little tips and tricks on it to help make you a little bit better griller, because the more information you have, the better you are. But let's take a quick break here, and we're going to be back with our next segment. It's called Inside the Pit. We'll ask a question. We'll see if Randy can answer it properly, and we'll go from there.
You're a good old man. You're a big baby. Yankee Doodle went to town, riding on a pony, took him down the winter's head and called it
Do I
macaroni.
need to do a 4th of July word quote of the day?
Yes, please.
All right, this is a freedom quote for 4th of July.
I don't do facts.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
The only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is freedom from fear.
Oh.
That is a quote by Aung San Suu Kyi.
Wow.
The only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is freedom from fear.
That's so true, man. Fuck.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is our segment here. We call it Inside the Pit, where we ask questions regarding what goes on inside the pit and how you do it or not do it, which method is the best, which method do you prefer, which method don't you prefer. Today, I asked a question that was actually brought to you by Chelsea a couple of weeks ago before we went on vacation. I actually had to write it down so I wouldn't forget it. She suggested, because she questioned why when I did my brisket, I bought butcher paper. She said, butcher paper or foil. I put it out there as a random thing. Doesn't matter the meat. Pick the meat that you would like to put it on and go from there. So I'm going to ask a question for you before I get into some of the responses and stuff. Butcher paper or foil paper, you pick the meat. Tell us which one you choose and why.
So butcher paper, I prefer on like briskets or pork butts just because it allows the meat to breathe and the cooks still a little bit slow. It's still, for me, when I wrap a brisket about 8-9 hours in, it's still gonna finish. Sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 4 hours. Kind of depends on the brisket and how big it is. Same thing for pork butts. Sometimes they'll cook a little bit faster, depending on the size. Sometimes they'll cook a little bit longer. But I think it does allow the meat to breathe a little bit. You can still use foil if you want. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just you gotta put something in the bottom of it. You do have to have some kind of juice in there, whether it be water, beef broth, apple juice, beer, whatever the case maybe is. just to kind of help prevent the meat or the fat from sticking to the foil. Um, and it's going to cook a lot faster. So if you're in a hurry, definitely use foil. I prefer foil on ribs just because it allows the ribs to cook a little bit faster. You can, put whatever you want, sauce, you can put glaze, you can put sugar, honey, butter, anything that you want in a wrap for ribs. You can wrap them to put extra flavors into them. Definitely, you can wrap it in butcher paper if you want. I've done it too. I just find it my preference of foil using for competition wise, well, briskets, pork butts, those when I use foil, and then ribs throughout each cook. But you can't go wrong either way. Definitely try both ways and see what you prefer.
That is it right there. Try it. Now we're gonna dive into it because there's been a few other methods that were discussed on this. One said he will do it paper or none at all. He won't wrap any of his stuff, butcher, ribs or whatever. Says depends on which rig he's cooking on. Um, for a crispier bark, it's foil using the boat method. We'll dive into that here in a second. And then for a tender bark, they use the butcher paper, which kind of seems to be on a brisket, kind of seems to be the trend of people using. Is that for them? He says one says he does a butcher paper for both. It's just the way he likes it. Some say just like you did, foil for the ribs, butcher paper for the brisket. I've done it just butcher paper on the rib, on the brisket, and foil on the ribs. And to me, the ribs came out great. I could have perfected it once you wrap it, adding, the butter, the brown sugar, I think is what you add, and a little honey to just help glaze it. And then, of course, my mistake that I look at it now was not taking it back, setting it on there, and putting a barbecue sauce glaze on top of it, putting our big Salinas barbecue sauce on top of it to give it that color, that nice color for, that 10 more minutes or whatever that you cook the ribs for. So that'll maybe something I work on. Like I said, I plan on trying to do some ribs this weekend. You're more than welcome to come over if you want. You know where I live. But the thing that was popped in the thing was the boat method. Have you heard of it and have you tried it? And we're going to dive into a different foil with you because I've seen it and I'm curious.
Yeah, I have tried it. I've tried one of the ways I've seen it two different ways. And for you listening, if you don't know what the foil boat method is, it's basically what it sounds like. If you take a brisket, here's the brisket, you wrap the foil all the way around so it's just covering just the top or just the sides of the brisket, not the top. And then you can put butcher paper over the top. You can put, butter in them, you can put spritz them, beef broth, beef consomme, whatever you want on it just to kind of help it. And then I've seen it, the second way I've seen it is you basically wrap it in butcher paper just like you normally would. Then you take the foil and do the same thing, but you wrap it just up to the sides. You kind of crunch it together. And both, I've tried it the first way, and it'll come out pretty good. Definitely does take practice. Saves you some time on butcher paper, but I think I would personally stick with the actual butcher paper. Just my preference on it, but you can't go wrong either way. And again, try it each way. You want to do, take a brisket, four briskets if you can find them, Kroger or whatever, and cook four different ones and try it all. Try these different ways, go for it.
Yeah.
But if you just got time, 1 week try it one way, another week try a different way, and so on and so on. Try different ways until you find what you like.
You're correct. George Cano Jr. He's the one that brought it to my attention because I was like, "Boat what?"
Hmm.
He said he can't. He didn't remember where he saw it, but it is. It's basically wrapping the brisket in the boat, leaving leaving the fat cap exposed. So you basically are covering half the brisket, leaving the top exposed. I did watch one on Mad Scientist Barbecue on YouTube. He did his with the boat, but he wrapped it in butcher paper as well, and it came out very juicy. It looked delicious, but he was kind of like you. He kind of said, "I'd rather prefer doing it the butcher paper, the one method." But again, definitely, if you haven't tried it, I'm curious to try it myself and see if you've tried it. Let us know. Hit us up on Dan, that's good with Big Sling's Barbecue or Big Sling's Barbecue. Let us know, hey, I've tried it. This is how it came to me. We would love to hear it, how it came. And like I said, figure out which method works for you and go for it. Now, you did it the other day, and some people have asked. I've seen Greg, the barbecue broker, do it at his the one he's cooking at, where you put foil paper on the end of the brisket, on the fat cap of the point. I'm sorry, the point of the brisket. Why is that important? Sometimes.
Yeah, you don't need it all the time. And this is what I try to explain to some people. Um, for mine running at 250, um, sometimes it does get hot in some spots. So sometimes if you're running just salt and pepper, you may not need to. But if you're using anything with, like our rub, the Noble rub has some sugar in there. Sugar does tend to burn on it. So when you have a lot of heat in there, sometimes the point will burn. So that's why you wrap it. I kind of just tint it with the foil. Um, it doesn't mess with the bark. It's still gonna get a good bark on it. It's still gonna be that perfect, black bark that you're looking for. The only thing it does is just helps it and saves it from overcooking and burning, or charring, if you want to look at it that way. Um, some of the people that I got, so you need to focus more on the flat than you do on the point. Well, if you focus more on the flat than you do the point, sometimes you may run into the flat being overcooked. But our smoker, the way I run it, and the way I've kind of figured it out, is the flat's gonna come out tender, juicy, but I want to protect that point, so that way I can utilize the meat from the very tip of the flat all the way to the point of the point. I want to get as much meat as I can for our customers. 'Cause that's why I use it. You can use a piece of wood if you want to on there, but you do run the risk of maybe that wood getting too hot and still kind of charred. Uh, you know, but if you're having that kind of issue where the meat's getting charred on the end, tinted in foil, you don't need a lot. You just need enough to cover the point. Here's the point. You just basically dealing like that if you're on YouTube. And as the point cooks, it's gonna kind of separate from it. So you're gonna get it's still gonna get that part.
And go check this out on YouTube because what he's using is awesome. A phone, a mouse, but it is true, and you can look that up and you can Google it, and it's just something that a lot of people. I saw it and I was like, huh, I'm sure there's a reason. Like I said, he's cooked 100,000 times more briskets than I have, and stuff. I usually, like I said, I've helped him get to a certain point, and then he'll hit it, and then we just kind of for a while there at competitions, we would be up every hour. So you'd sleep basically 2 hours, and then the other person watched it for an hour, and then you go out there just make sure your fire sprayed down or something. But you kind of perfected your tip on that. So that's a good thing to learn. And again, from what you're saying here is if it's burning or if it's cooking, that point is cooking a little too fast, where you don't want to burn it because you don't want that end to be just crispy, because it's just gonna mess up your cook. Put some foil on it. That's where you would put foil, and then of course, once you go to wrap it and whatever you choose to wrap it, you'll take that off and rewrap it with something else. That's a good trick. Like I said, that's something that I've seen done, and people say it, and it's just one of those things to get a better explanation to our users on it. And that's, like I said, that's only done with the brisket, correct?
Yeah, I only do it with the briskets. The pork butt, I mean, it's not going to be on there that long. You know,
That's the next topic for Inside the Pit is your ways to cook a pork butt best.
I've already kind of seen one, and I don't. I
That
got
was
my
the,
opinion on it. There's this kind of preview on the pork butt. There's your strips of bacon, that your pork belly that you cut into bacon that we all love. But there's something on the pork that is right under the fat cap that a lot of people refer to as the bacon, and that's really, besides the money muscle, that's the best piece on a pork butt. And
but like I said, we'll get into that. That's for next week's Inside the Pig. Is how do you cook your pork butt? We might have to have Johnny Maggs on here for a little segment on there because I know he loves to cook him some pork butts several different ways, and there's people that will turn it into different things. But we'll let that go for next week. But speaking of pork, for the listen, this was the question that was asked to me because it was made out that I guess my brother-in-law as well, Carlos, couldn't eat pork because it gives him gassy, makes him gassy, whatever. And they said, somebody asked me, what do you like on the pork? And I said, what do we not like on the pork? On the pig, I mean, what do we not like? I can't recall one thing from the chicharrones from the beginning, which is the skin of it, to anything. Is usually what we would cook on it. And when, especially out there in Lubbock and Wessex, when they would slaughter a pig or something, it was grilling time that day. Not to mention what you were taking home, what you could take home or whatever. But anything you found on a pig that you don't like? Maybe the snout, the feet, the pig's feet.
I don't think we've ever had pig's feet.
I know you've had it because Dad throws it in his menudo every time he throws it. There's not much meat in it at all. He throws
No, I
it.
mean, and that's what I mean.
I think
like,
Mom has
it's
made
actually
him
eaten.
take that in.
Yeah.
All you do is scrape it. You just grab it. Look, since you got props, let me do props. You basically just scrape the inside of it to get the meat or the fat or whatever that's out of it.
No, yeah, I mean, there's not very much. I mean, the only thing barbecue wise that we've cooked that we, or food wise that we cooked that we hadn't liked is the liver. Don't put no more liver on.
That was a customer. That was a special request for liver. So that
the
is
beef
something
tongue,
we will
I could.
do.
I mean,
That was actually pretty good.
I wouldn't mind doing that again.
That was actually
doing
really
it
good.
on,
I tried
on the
that.
smoker.
I tried the beef tongue and stuff. The liver was good. Dad did his thing on that liver and that beef tongue, but I was interested to see the liver is a no, you can't mess up. You mess up on it, it's trash. There's no reheating it. You have to eat it in that sitting or there's nothing left for you to eat on that. So we'll see. Like I said, interesting thing. Let's it will be anything here. Any other things on butcher paper, foil paper, anything like that you would like to add to this discussion before we take a quick break?
No, I mean, like I said, just reiterate that. Give it a try for yourself. And there's a lot of people on TikTok that will kind of, Facebook, YouTube. You cook a certain way, they tell you no, you're doing it wrong. You gotta do it this way. It's this way or no way. You don't know barbecue, blah blah blah. If you want to cook on a pellet grill, if you want to cook, offset, the $20 grill from Walmart, on a trash can or cabinet. It don't matter. You want to smoke your wood chips. You want to use butcher paper, foil, not use anything, spritz, not spritz. Try everything. Find out what you and your family like. The biggest thing is it comes down to is if you and your family like it, that's the only thing that matters.
Bam!
That's the biggest thing. As long as y'all like it, that don't mean nothing.
That is the key. That is it. Because you do look at some of these people, especially on TikTok, it's like, no, you don't use it. And I watched one today, and I was watching some stuff on YouTube, podcasts and video casts or video or vlogs or whatever you would like to call them. And the people were, he was showing it, and he used a binder. You know, there's people on TikTok that are no binders. No binder doesn't add anything to your. No, it doesn't. It doesn't add anything, but he was putting them on some ribs, and the guy is a world champ in ribs. He's got the ring on, so he might know a little bit about what he's doing, just a little bit on it. So, and he even said it there, and we say it again: do what you like, what's best for you. Yep. This is the way he cooks it. That's best for him and his family. Do it the way you want to, for sure. I actually saw an interesting thing about somebody that was smoking some ribs on a propane grill. They only turned half of it on, threw a couple wood chips on that side, let the fire hit the wood, and circle back out that way. I don't know how it would work with escaping and all that. I had to cut it off. I had to go into a meeting and haven't been able to go back and watch it. So I'll give you a preview. We'll tease that as well for the next one. But like I said, I cooked mine on the Weber kettle on the charcoal. Going back to propane, you really did see how much I really did like the charcoal. Yes, it takes a little bit longer to start, but I know the thing is lit. We almost had a scare. We're like, I don't think it's cooking, Randy. I don't think it's cooking. I'm like, I'm sure it's, yeah, I hit the button. I hit the button. Guy hits the button and whoo.
Oh, Lord.
It was a big flame. And then you go, whoo. I was like, you okay, dude? I said, step away from a grill, breathe. I'll take the grill, and I take the grill over from that and get it going. But we'll see. Well, like I said, we did the preview. We'll talk pork butts on the next Inside the Pit. And if you have any comments or anything on this, feel free to hit us up. We would gladly love to know your feedback on it and the ways you do it. Brisket or foil, butcher paper or foil on your brisket. Some people use butcher paper on the ribs as well. Some use none at all on anything. Just depends on how you cook it, how fast you want it. But we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back with our last segment, Around the Pit, where we have some breaking news. We did film this on Wednesday, July 6th. Randy's dream will not come true. So sad. We'll be right back.
And that is barbecue.
Hey, damn, I wish I had another super like. I'd give it to you. That's literally what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's hell yeah. You can't go wrong with a barbecue on 4th of July, for sure. What are you grilling? Or smoking or whatevs? What are you eating?
It would be ribs, probably some deer.
Deer?
Yeah, they were hunters. Just depends on what, we had some elk one time, grizzly bear.
Wow.
Just depends. My grandfather was a hunter. So
Squirrel?
No, I have had squirrel. My dad made squirrel stew.
Squirrel
But
stew.
Yeah. But yeah, ribs are huge. I love pork ribs. Baby back ribs are great. But just really whatever was dead and could be put on a grill. I mean, we're a country ass family, so we've eaten all kinds of crazy shit. Hell, we've eaten shark.
Heck yeah,
So-
I have too. It's delicious.
You guys gotta get this song. Welcome back. Go check this out on YouTube. If you're doing anything and you're listening to this Johnny Mags, I know you listen to it on there, and some other people, all you listeners out there that listen to this without checking us out on YouTube, go check this one on YouTube, because Randy gives the sad lip. You know what that sad lip, if you got kids, the bottom lips out. He gives it sad lip, but continue to listen to it, of course. But check us out on YouTube. Hit that subscribe and like button. Wherever you get your podcast, wherever you get this, to help out us for sure. And shoot us a little feedback as well. You think something we can improve on, something we can add, definitely hit us up. But I teased it before we took a little break. Randy's dream that Baker Mayfield would lead the Browns to the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson would be unsuspended after 1 year. What are they going to do? Because Baker just won the Super Bowl for him. Well, July 6th, the day we tape this, he was traded to the Panthers. Randy, your final thoughts on that?
Hey, let's go Panthers.
That'd be awesome.
Cowboys and Panthers in the NFC Championship game. Can we see that?
Dude, if he leads, if he starts and leads them to the playoffs,
that would be funny.
We will see. We're gonna dive into it for sure. You know, this is what we talk about around the pit. Anything we talk about around the pit, what's going on. We had some talk here as the news was breaking. Last week with the A&M recruiter that was saying, hey, when you come here, the people in the suites are going to pay you handsomely. And they're trying to make this big old deal about it. And Jimbo Fisher said this. I said this again around a couple of A&M fans. And I was like, you show me the program where the people in the suites don't pay the people on the field. Show me one. Division I program. Show me one. You can't. Because they all do. Even TCU, the Texas Christian University, they pay their players under the table just like everybody else. I don't care what it is. You're not going to get some of these players to go to these schools without doing that. This is not going to happen. Now they have the NIL deal, and that's where they're getting away with it, with the NIL deals, because a lot of these people own major businesses. The running back from Texas. You don't think one of that guy that owns the Lamborghini dealership in Austin has a suite to the games? Come on now. He's not doing it out of the come on. You don't think the Matthew McConaughey fund is not paying for somebody? Come on, people. That's just my thing. What's your take on that? What you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, they're all getting paid. I mean, we all know probably, Arch Manning got paid something to go to Texas. And that's kind of funny how people are already saying he's going to be a bust. He's going to be another major Applewhite #1 recruit, biggest recruit to go to Texas since, and it's just going to be a bust. He's not going to be like his brother, or not going to be like his uncles. But if I remember correct, Peyton nor Eli were that big coming out of college. They weren't going to set the world on fire coming out. They were still top picks, but you weren't talking about how they were going to be the greatest of all time.
Facts, because
they were just the best in their class.
You look at, let's dive into it. Peyton Manning, he was going 1 or he was going 2? Who was he competing against? Ryan Leaf. He was bust. 1 or 2. You knew he was going 1 or 2. Eli was the same thing. He was going 1 or he was going 2. I forget who the other quarterback that was good there, and neither one of the ones that can bust. But here's the thing, though. Do you remember them lighting it up their freshman year, their sophomore year? No, it was more their junior, senior year. They started lighting it up. They started having the stats. And I think that's more so it is anything, is getting those stats up, getting those things. Now, I've read reports that people are like, oh, he's never going to play in the SEC. Why did he go? He took the easier route in the Big 12. Chances are they're saying Texas could leave after this year, the Big 12, because it'll be less of a hit. But they're saying that even if they don't, he could go in and he can get redshirted his freshman year so that you give the starting quarterback that's there now 2 years, because he'll have to then leave. He'll be no choice but to leave. And then he comes in and takes over the program from there. So that's not a bad idea. If that's what he wants to do, and there's videos of him when he was in the 6th grade, 7th or 8th grade, well, I forget which one, where he said he wanted to go play in Texas. He wanted to go to Texas. So he's always kind of wanted to go there. I'm excited, I'm not a full-fledged Texas fan. I'll go second tier, maybe third tier Texas fan. Excited to see what he can do, because he's going to bring the recruits from them. And it's got to have Oklahoma fans just like crap.
He's already bringing recruits, and that's where I was going to get to next. Is you have a lot of people that are talking crap with Oklahoma fans. They had back-to-back number one recruiting quarterbacks come out in Rattler and that last quarterback that they had that just went to USC. So you had back-to-back years after Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield both left for the pros. A back-to-back number one consensus best quarterback in high coming out of high school. And where are they at? They're not playing for your program. Year one, both were a bust. You were calling for Spencer Rattler to be benched for the other guy, and then halfway through that season, you're calling for Spencer Rattler to come back. So I think it would suit him better for Manning to be redshirted and to kind of grow. But I think he's setting himself up for success by bringing in some of his recruits that they're already getting.
Let's put it this way though, and redshirting wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, because here's what's happened. Baker Mayfield went to Tech, got beat out, got his job taken by Mahomes. So he went to the transfer protocol, sat out a season, went to Oklahoma, played 2 seasons. Kyler Murray went to Texas A&M, didn't like it there for whatever reason. Started true freshman, didn't like it, didn't develop didn't like the system or whatever. Left transfer protocol, went to Oklahoma, sat another whole year behind Baker Mayfield. Only played 1 season, if I do recall, 1 season maybe. And granted, I'm not going to take nothing away from him. The guy has a cannon from here today. We saw it live and in person at the Big 12 championship game that one day. Dude has a cannon. But why not sit for a year, learn the system inside and out, help recruit, help bring in young, talented receivers that can start day one, can start there as a freshman year. You come in as a redshirt freshman, light the world up for 3 years. Off to the pros you go, number one pick overall, and be done with it. Possibly win a national championship when you're there. A lot of people have said that they could see Texas winning a national championship. From there, then you have people dogging on them, saying, hey, Texas had done this and that in a long time. And, well, you know what? They've won. I think a lot of Notre Dame fans are better for whatever reason. I don't think they ever stood a chance of getting that, but we'll see.
It's going to be interesting. And then you have the NBA going on. I can tell you my team is rebuilding. We're on rebuild mode.
You've been in rebuild mode for 5 years.
We are rebuilding. We officially are rebuilding by trading Murray. And then you have the Mavericks. I don't know what y'all going to be getting another lottery pick coming up next season. The way y'all.
The Mavericks are doing what I thought they would do. Sit on their hands and knees and do nothing. Here's my thing, and I want to give my take because I know Chris will hear this, and he's more than welcome. I'll join on his podcast to talk about it. The whole Jalen Brunson leaving for you. That was set in motion. He was never going to sign with the Mavericks to begin with. When his dad signed the coach over there, that's where he was going. Yep. He used the Mavericks to boost it up. But here's my thing. He was not a $25, $26 million player, whatever he got, leading up to this season. He wasn't that guy. He was 12 to 13 mil, a good starter, role player. He had a good series, good 2 games. 2. Like Eden said, 2 games against Utah in that first round. And then they played the Nuggets, whoever they played. I follow the Mavericks. Their first round opponent, I think it was tonight, had a good 2 games. Now all of a sudden he's a superstar, $30 million max deal. Well, what did he do really? The next series, later that series, Luka came back. He kind of let Luka take over. The next series against the Suns, Luka needed him a lot of those games. He was nowhere to be found. We really needed him against the Warriors, and he was already gone. He was already checked out. That's why I didn't have any confidence, and I told to Charlie and Danny, it's like we're gonna lose this series. I'm not hating. I love the Mavericks. I love the Mavericks when they won 12 games a season. I remember cheering for him when Randy was with the Spurs, going, my Spurs, with Duncan and his big three. But they weren't gonna do anything with just Luka. He needs some help. They've yet to really get him help in that way. And it's
What-
just it's driving me crazy.
You know what it is he's trying to Cuban, Kid, Finley, and whoever else is in that front office. Dirk, you want to throw Dirk in there? I don't know who's all in the front office, nor do I care. But what they're doing is they're trying to catch lightning in the bottle twice. And what I mean by that is when they won that championship, who on the Mavericks do you say was the legitimately second best guy, all-star franchise player out there? You can't name one because they're all role players. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get all those role players, the Terrys, whoever was on those damn.
It was the Jazz. It was the Jazz. It was like, no, you
But
could
that's what they're
say
trying to do. You can't do that this day and age. This is a two or three superstar league. You have
Jason
to
Terry
have
was a role
stars.
player. Jason Terry was a role player. Sean Merriam was a role player. Jason Kidd was a role player. Stevenson or whatever was a role player. Your superstar was Dirt, and they rode the coattails because he was on an unbelievable playoff run. And they knew, and I've watched some videos on it where they, Dwayne Wade and LeBron made fun of him and how they forced Dirt to watch this because they said Dirt, like Jordan, was a different athlete when you made him mad. Boston ran into that problem. They made Draymond mad. Draymond could care less, but the problem is they made Curry mad. When you play around with somebody that good and they play better upset, let's not upset them. And that's what happened. And then Dirk got mad, went on a tear like no other, and won the thing. But you're right. He's probably trying to catch little lightning in the bottle. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think, just like the Mavericks, the Cowboys, I don't think we've improved yet. The offseason still is young. Anything can happen. I don't envision them getting, if they get Kyrie, good luck. We're really not going to do anything. We're not going to get Durant. We'd have to give up too much for Durant. So
I don't think nobody wants them to, honestly. Besides maybe the Lakers.
Kyrie might not be
Kyrie's
mad.
one of those guys that it's his way or the highway, and Kevin Durant, he's trying to take the easy way out. He's seeing that it's not working. It didn't work in New Jersey or Brooklyn. You see, it didn't work in Oklahoma City. That's why he ran to, Golden State. Now he's trying to do that again. And I was watching ESPN, and I'll pose this question because they posed the question of when you look at those guys, you can build a team like Steph Curry, Jordan, Kobe, Duncan, Dirk. You can build that team, lead the team. Do you see that in Kevin Durant? If you don't see that in Kevin Durant, then he's not one of those guys that you want on the team.
Okay. Here's my thing. And one thing we may need to try here is Hurtado's here in Little. I don't know if you've ever been, but go back to your question. Can Kevin Durant lead the team like that? My answer is no. Is he a superstar in every sense of word? Absolutely. Is he all world? Absolutely. Is he a generational talent? Absolutely. But some players are not leaders.
Yeah.
AKA Scottie Pippen is not a leader. Karl Malone, not a leader. John Stockton led those teams. Michael Jordan led those teams. Are they all world? Can you take away anything for them? No. Charles Barkley, all world, great basketball player, not a leader, not the leader you needed. Tim Duncan led all teams. He took it on his back. Hey, I got you. Come on. Yep. Man, Ginobili and Parker, were they leaders to us a little bit? I give them a little bit of extent, but David Robinson, all worlds again. Was he a leader that could lead them to the promised land? No. But he needed that true leader, that admiral, that person that was like, come on, I got you. Let's do this. But because that's just it. Not everybody's meant to be a leader in that sense. of it. And so that's where I think you're at. And that's where I think the Cowboys fall into a thing too. Who is truly the leader on offense? Is it Dak? I don't think so. I don't think he can lead you to that thing. I think he'll go with somebody that will lead him. He'll help contribute in that way, but
Yeah.
he's not your true leader. That he's not your Aikman that says, okay, come on. Your image, it's like, come on. Your Irvin. I think that's what made them so good back in the 90s when you had three leaders. They led the team. Even though they were offense, they helped lead the defense and motivate them and get them there. But we'll see. But you will see NBA's heating up, free agency's heating up. NFL's getting ready here. We're down to a little over less than a month away before training camp. Well, I can't wait. Okay. Did you watch? Are you excited about the XFL next year and USFL, or are you just like me, whatever?
I didn't watch the USFL. I watched like 30 seconds of it.
We watched whatever. The most I saw was that set when we were over there for July 3rd. We went to watch the fireworks in Princeton. We watched what, a minute 45, whatever it took. And I'm just like, this is semi-pro football. I'm good. I'll watch semi-pro hockey. I'll watch minor league hockey. I'll watch minor league baseball. But nah, I don't know if I can do it. We'll see. Maybe the XFL can be more entertaining. I don't know. But I'm not going to be one of those that's going to rush to go see it.
No. I think it'd be more entertaining just because you're going to have The Rock there and he's setting it up for success. He's doing it the right way and actually building something, getting sure everything's in place. Versus, the USFL and the other two leagues that kind of didn't pan out, just trying to start something and go from there. The USFL is basically just to kind of put some of these rules that are the NFL will never do. They just wanted to, to show the fans, hey, you got an idea, we'll send it over here to do. We're not going to do it, but we're going to send it over here just so you can see it. But we're still not going to do it.
Correct.
I think that's what those rules were. Basically,
Right.
just so you could see it, play out.
What if they did the draft earlier? Hear me out. Don't start it right after the Super Bowl like you planned. What if you did the draft earlier? Then you went and signed all these people. Then every NFL franchise had a minor league team within the XFL. And those players went there for a 6-8 game schedule. And then you really could know what you have competing against people on that same talent level. Because these undrafted guys are going to go up against these veterans, these guys that are 10 years in the league that know every little trick in the book. You're not going to compete well against them. You're not. Unless you're, even if you're a first round overall pick, you're not going to compete with them well right off the top. Because the game's different. That'd be a good way, I think, to start the game. Maybe you have some of your older veterans that you're like, okay, you're in the you're 40 to 52nd on the depth chart, 53, we're going to put you kind of like the NBA has a summer league. This would be their summer league. I think that might be somewhat entertaining to a point.
I think there's been talks with the XFL wanting to be their summer. To where you can send guys to those teams to play, get that working. I would be all for that. If you want to have 32 teams, or maybe Dallas and Houston team up to have one team, they put us in all their guys. New York put their two teams together. Maybe cut it down to 16 if you wanted to do it that way.
You could do that.
Certainly just to kind of form those teams so those guys get more reps.
LA could have their own team.
Yeah.
You could combine teams based on area.
I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Get some old coaches that don't have really any vested interest in it and coach them up.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. I think I could probably be on board with something like that, but we'll see. We will see for sure. What else you got? Anything else?
Oh, no, that's all I got.
We'll be back here for sure as we continue to get closer to football season, continue to get closer to Randy, seeing if he can stay champ in both fantasy leagues, I'm saying no. Chris Bustos says no.
He's been saying
But
no for
he
the
says
last 2
I'm gonna
years.
be right here, the champ. No, I am not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. There will be some potential changes. I'm gonna talk. We're gonna see about maybe some changes within my league. Because I usually like to throw a little wrinkle in it as well, but we'll go into that. The draft's gonna be interesting. Like I said, a lot of quarterbacks don't have that top receiver, and like Tyreek Hill that would go up high. Now he's with Tua. Can you expect the same production? We'll see from there. But let's end it off. Again, big thank you to you, the listeners. Be sure to check us out anywhere you get your podcast. If on YouTube, hit us up, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, share the podcast. If you would like to join us for a segment or help talk in, hey, you want to talk some sports with us, or you want to talk inside the pit with us, just let us know. Hit us up on BigSalinasBarbecue.com or Junior Salinas at Facebook or Randy Salinas on Facebook or any of the social medias, and we will let you know. But again, my small business shout out, I'm going to let Randy close it out again because he cries. And literally does every time people shed the tears. He's already good. Is Marvin Blue Photography and Film. Do you want your picture taken for your wedding, quinceanera, whatever, and you want it anywhere you go? He's done pictures work in the Grand Canyon. He's done pictures in Vegas. He's done just on the beach. He's willing to travel if you got the destination. So do not hesitate to call him up. His number is 817-939-6230, or you can reach him by email at marvin@marvinbluephotography.com, and his website, which is marvinbluephotographyandfilm.com, or of course on all the social media. Again, of course, you know the name by now, Marvin Blue Photography. Tell him Junior from Big Salinas Barbecue sent you, and he will give you that VIP treatment for sure, and he will take care of you. He'll give you that quote for sure there. But hit him up, and of course, whatever you're doing outside, stay hydrated for sure, because it is hot here in Texas, and I'm sure it's hot everywhere around the country. And we will see you down the road.
Bravo. Just like I said, always cook with love. I just like I said before on this episode probably 3 or 4 times. I'll say it again. Try different things, from rubs, sauces, wrapping, not wrapping, spritzing, not spritzing, different charcoals, different wood. Just find what you like. Don't listen to what other people are saying on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Give everything a try for yourself. Find what you and your family like. The biggest thing is, as long as you and your family enjoy it, that's what matters. As always, give our stuff a try. You never know, just may get hooked. Big taste, big flavor, Big Salinas. And of course, my small business shout out of the week was 1042 Barbecue. Check him out on TikTok and buy his stuff on Amazon. That is 1042 BBQ on TikTok. He's got some great stuff, great videos. Be sure to check him out. Like us on all the social media sites, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of them. Will be posted down below in links. Follow us, share, let us know what you think. Like I said, if you want to be on the show, if you want to, small business shout out, on a segment, talk sports, barbecue, whatever it is, let us know. We'd love to have all you on. We are going to be doing live here pretty soon. We were just kind of playing around at the very beginning before we did this. So stay tuned for that. We may do it next week or the week after. But like always, like I said, give yourself a try. Never know. You just may get hooked. And we'll see you down the road. Keep that smoke rolling.
Peace out.
The original 5 levels are big, healthy, husky, fluffy, and damn. People ask, what could be bigger than damn?